Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. I have no idea what's happening over here at my neighbor's house because they've got like two dogs, but it sounds like they've got a herd of dogs over there barking, and they are never barking, so don't know what's happening over there. Anyway, I'm here to do the week ahead spread. I am using my Oak, Ash, and Thorn and my Seed and Sickle Oracle. I usually just use the deck that I used the week before, and this is like the kind of last hurrah for the deck. I did use these one day, but I used a different deck pairing every day of the week for some reason last week. Couldn't make up my mind, and these are the two I like the most. I did use the, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. The Wildwood Tarot also. Paired it with this same deck. Awesome. But anyway, if you're just tuning into my channel, I do the energy, obstacle, and advice for the week, and then I pull an oracle card for like the overall whatever. I don't have a book with the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. I do have little cards that shows just little meanings. I usually go over the cards intuitively and then go over them in the book. Since I don't have a book for the Oak, Ash, and Thorn, I think I'll read from both the Seed and Sickle books that come with the Seed and Sickle Oracle for the one card for it. So, without further ado, and it's actually nice right now. We've been in the hundreds, really bad weather, horribly hot weather, and it's looked like it's going to rain all day today. It actually, there's no sun right now, and it's brighter than it's been when there is sun when I'm filming, so that's weird. There are black clouds coming in, and it's actually right at 7 o'clock on July 24th, 2022. So there should be more daylight, but whatever. And it's actually really cooling off. So, and we did get a little spatter of rain earlier today, but nothing to wet anything down. So I'm hoping we get a good heavy rain, but not before I finish this video. So without further ado, let's do the look at what I did for the energy of the week. I pulled the 10 of Cups. And look at his little squirrel and little squirrel family and the little heart on his backside. That's so adorable. And the 10 of Cups, and there's another one with a little heart on his backside. 10 of Cups is always, to me, about family, about having that quality time together. And I've certainly done that this weekend. I've not really I've had no get up and go this weekend. Like, I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. I have had to get out and do things, but for the most part, I've just watched movies or whatever. This is the first time I think I've ventured outside today. And it's just because I needed the nice, peaceful, crisp air this Sunday evening. Alone time. Because I have been with my family this whole time. But I think it's, it almost seems like, from what I'm feeling in this card, like there's a need for family around. Maybe there's a family function coming up, or you get big news or about a job. And I'm really hearing pregnancy, not for me, because I'm done and over with that. But like, you may find out something about a pregnancy. Someone out there may find out about a pregnancy and need their family around with them. So that's very interesting. So and this is not just for me, it's for anybody out there that feels the need to have, feels connected to it. So if you do, let me know in the comments. Okay, so for the obstacle of the week, I have the Fool. Gorgeous. And again, I'm getting baby, because he's a baby fawn. Just starting out, just starting to stand on his own, wobbly legs. Yeah, that's interesting. That baby, this is very strongly, like news about a pregnancy. Maybe, something you've been afraid of with this pregnancy, and the baby is the Fool is all about taking a chance, taking a risk, embarking on a journey, maybe a fool's journey, foolishly. But this one, it's endearing to me. It's this baby, and you've watched him grow and watched him be born, and now he's standing on his own, and maybe that's because this is in the negative position, maybe that's the issue, is he's standing on his own and he's not ready to yet. And whoever this is for, maybe and I don't want to say anything bad, but I feel like there's a neglect thing happening. Maybe you're torn between family life and your job, or and your child really needs you at home and needs that family time. Interesting. And I love the little flower, the little daisies all around him. That's just beautiful. Yeah, and then you see the darkness all around too. That's interesting that there's like blackness here, but he's highlighted because he's going into the unknown, and maybe that's someone having a baby. They're doing it alone. Maybe they don't have to do it alone because they do have family near them or around them to support them. And maybe that's the negative here, is you don't have to do this journey alone. You have people around you that can support you and help take care of you. Interesting. So for the advice of the week, I have the High Priestess. Again, this motherly, I feel like the High Priestess is kind of like the Empress. It's got this motherly energy, but it's a more out of this world spiritual motherly energy versus the Empress, which is a more down to earth motherly type energy. But I also see the Moon here with possible secrets. That's just interesting because it keeps coming up: mother, child, pregnancy. But I see nothing about a father in the cards here, which is interesting to me. And this is the first time ever I've done a reading where I feel none of this connects to me. So it can't be for me at all. That's quite interesting because I've never felt that it's genuinely for somebody else out there. But the High Priestess, the energy I feel there is more of a sense of not spiritual. It is a spiritual sense of, but it's a maternal instinct that you have. This universal, that's the word I'm looking for, universal knowing of how to be with your child, or who you're going to be as a mother to this child. I find that quite interesting. So that's what I got. You know, in your heart of hearts, how you're going to be, what kind of mother you're going to be. I find that interesting. So and I think it's interesting because this is the only card I looked at as I pulled it from the Seed and Sickle Oracle, was the Daisy card. And I think it's funny that there's he's in a field of daisies. And when I first saw this deck, I'm like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I have a deeper connection to daisies than a spiritual connection to daisies, which is interesting. Spiritual connection to daisies, because when I first started my spiritual journey, I had this, and I would meditate all the time. I had a very ancestral experience with like a Native American Indian tribe. And it was funny because if you go back to the Young Indian Girl on my channel somewhere, it tells the story of all these meditations I did and all these visions I had of this specific Indian tribe. And then I want to find a good book exactly like the meditations I'd been having. It basically is the story of these meditations I was having, of this real tribe that existed. And I'm like, what is happening? And it's funny because daisies, when I first started having these visions, red daisies was a thing. And I'm like, there's no such thing as a red daisy. And apparently there is a red daisy. It comes from Africa, and it's a spiritual meaning to the flower. And I'm like, it blew my mind. And then in the end of the book, the lady that you've been following through the whole book, she's a young Indian girl. She's an old lady in the end of the book. She comes upon our field of red daisies, and I'm like, that's great. And it's literally the state over from where I live now. I'm like, the whole thing was just a deep, deep connection. And when I watched Simon at the Hermit's Cave do a walkthrough of this deck, I said, if there's a daisy in it, I'll buy it. And as soon as I said that, he flipped over this daisy card, and I'm like, okay. I said, maybe that was just a, coincidence. I said, if he actually pulls this card when he shuffles, I will, and reads about it, I will buy the deck. And of course, that's the card he drew and pulled, and I was in tears by the end of what he read, and I'm like, I have to have this deck. This card is why I fell in love with this deck. So I'm going to read you both sets of this card. I always study the Dusk guidebook because it seems to fit better with my life. But the Dusk readings are for when you're looking for guidance on how to best take care of your body and mind. And then if you do want to start a new project or undertaking a period of expansion and growth, you go to the Dawn guidebook. So there are two separate meanings to these. So I think that's pretty cool and very unique to this deck. So let's look at Daisy number 25 in the Dusk guidebook. Daisy. Nothing that has passed away is truly gone. It is simply waiting for the chance to return in a new form. The Irish Celts believed that the spirits of children who died prematurely would be reborn as daisies. So I'm literally been sitting here talking to you guys about pregnancy and birth and motherhood, and then that comes up. Interesting. You may be grieving a loss, but that of a relationship, a personal situation, or otherwise, but keep your eyes peeled. There are plenty of signs that you are not alone, and a brand new connection is on its way. So to me, it's speaking to these cards again, where there's family around you to support you and take care of you and help you. You just have to listen to your gut, listen to that instinct that's universal to everybody. It just ties in so perfectly, doesn't it? My gosh, I almost teared up. So let's look at the Dawn guidebook and see what it says for Daisy, number 25. Spring isn't the only time for a flurry of creativity. Daisy, the day's eye, is a vivacious little hard worker who makes sure her flowers are in season practically all year round. A second wind of productivity is on the horizon, and it's not too late to make the most of it. Take a deep breath and get ready. It's time to make something beautiful. And again, I feel like the pregnancy thing has come into play, so that's quite interesting. This whole thing seems to be wrapped around making a decision to several decisions on finding out someone's pregnant. So let's go here on just the keywords and see what's the cards say on these. 10 of Cups. It says happiness and fulfillment. Beautiful. The Fool. Innocence, trust, adventure. Just knocked my cards on the ground. Beautiful, isn't he? And then the High Priestess. sacred knowledge, mystery, and the subconscious. So, yeah, that's my week ahead spread. But I do want to say that any time, and that's where I feel like the high priestess comes into play, is anytime I am wishy-washy on a decision, or I'm like, I don't know what to do. What should I take this job, or should I stay at this job, or whatever? My gut already knows. Questioning that is where the ego comes into play and starts running off at the mouth, pretty much. And that's where you get stuck, is questioning that. And I've told quite a few people that I have, quite a few friends of mine. That's why people come to me all the time with, what should I do? What should I do? They never listen. But they do come to me with their problems because I cut right to it. I'm like, well, you have this and this and this choice. What makes you happiest? My first instinct is to tell you, follow your gut, because your gut is going to know before you do, because your mind is getting in the way of what your gut is saying, and your gut is saying it maybe very subtly, but it knows. Your gut instinct is telling you what the right answer is, what the right direction is, what the right choice is. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. This is the first time ever I've felt like completely disconnected from the reading. Usually I find some kind of connection to that, it's like throwing back at me, but it's very specific to me about a pregnancy. Maybe you found out you're pregnant, maybe you're trying to decide if you should stay pregnant, if you should be with the father, if you shouldn't be with the father, if you can do it on your own. And the universe is telling you, yes, you have the resources around you to be able to do this on your own, and to take care of you. So yeah, that's what I have. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And this was a weird week ahead spread. But yeah, I'll see y'all later. Bye.